This morning is Mildred Apenyo. Apenyo or Apenyo?
Apenyo.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's been 1.5 years since we started this show.
All right.
And you were one of our first.
I gave you your first feedback.
Yes.
I was so excited when I saw you responding and having an actual debate around my comments.
Yeah.
So, well, they were rough. It's a good thing that I made them.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here
This
today.
thing called yoga, when our women tell us they're going for yoga, we're like, okay. I tried it once with an Australian trainer who was like, my body is something, my body is something. Then I'm like, this is boring. Then I started seeing men going for it. So, I was like, okay, what exactly is this yoga thing? And you own a gym that you know, works on women's fitness.
Indeed, I own a women's gym. I'm not a trainer, but I'm a student. So I'm a kickboxer, I'm a strength trainer, a weightlifter. And very recently, I got my certification to begin teaching yoga.
Okay.
And I've been practicing a discipline of Kemetic yoga called Smaitawi. It's also called African yoga. It's a brand called African yoga. But really, I've been practicing this for 3 years. Wow. And I've been teaching it for 4 months now. And I find that there's so much more to learn about my body, about my mind. Really, yoga is the art of using meditation, using the breath, and using certain postures to get your body into a higher plane of, say, physical, say, fitness, to get your mind into a higher level of clarity, which is why people meditate, which is why, you know, all these things that surround yoga that you hear about, they're all connected to getting your body and your mind into a higher state, a happier state, a purer, more clear state, which is why we do almost everything that we do in life.
You talked about African yoga, so there's different classes of
there are definitely many different kinds of yoga. So the most common types of yoga that people know are the Eastern types of yoga. So there is, say, Hatha yoga, which is like the all-encompassing kind. There is maybe Vinyasa, which was created for energetic schoolboys. So it's really aerobic. You know, the movements are fast, you're breathing, you're moving. Which is also really good for weight loss and all of that. If you're looking, in fact, not weight loss, if you're looking for fat reduction or whatever, people have different goals. Yeah. Right? So for me, I've even named my practice of yoga. I call it La Leño Coach.
La Leño Coach, what does that mean?
Well, basically, I'm a seeker of contentment, a seeker of all things blissful. And so, while I practice Kemetic yoga, I practice this brand of African yoga, I am open to learning. And my journey, I never intend to stop learning. You see, because when you stop learning, you're basically dead. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So are there basics that you can show us that we can start to, you know, get the music rolling and
get the music.
Let's do this.
You're the best. Yes, indeed, I have prepared a short session for you. Now you need to tell me, are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Or are you...
If there's a class below beginner, that's where I am.
Oh, really? Okay, no problem. I'll take that into account. Okay, so now this is a series of movements that you can do every morning. In fact, this series of movements will wake you up better than a cup of coffee will, because they are very, they send blood to rushing to every part of your body. They include very deep breathing, okay? Because usually when people breathe, when you breathe, you'll be breathing from your clavicle. A lot of people, when they're breathing in, they pull their bellies in and they breathe into their clavicle. Right. But then you realize they're using a lot of effort, using maximum effort, and getting very little air in your lungs. You're getting very little use of your lungs. Right. So now, before we do anything, we need to learn how to breathe. Okay, and when you breathe in, we need to relearn. When you breathe in, I'd like you to begin from your belly. So I'd like you to expand your belly. Make it as big as, usually people are afraid
I make it as big as I can.
Make it a pot belly. Are you saying mine? I'm not afraid of my pot belly.
I make it big.
So you make it a pot belly. When you breathe in, you expand your belly and make it as big as possible. Okay? And then when you breathe out, I'd like you to pull your navel right down to your spine. Okay? So let's breathe in and do this together. You breathe in and you expand your belly. Don't worry, it takes time. It takes time.
When I breathe in, I expand.
Yes, you breathe in and you expand your belly. Make it as big as possible. See my pot belly? And when you breathe out, you pull your navel right down to your spine. So this is called abdominal breathing. Yes? And now when you're doing yoga, you begin your breath from your belly. So you breathe in and you begin your breath from your belly, and then you allow the breath to travel to your thoracic region, and then you allow your breath to travel to your clavicle, and then you release it.
It's quite hard because I think I'm used to when I'm breathing in, that's when I pull in my belly.
Indeed, that is what most of us are used to before we begin practicing. So don't worry, I've been doing this for 3 years. Yeah. It comes naturally to me. Okay. I cannot even breathe in the other way anymore. Oh. When you look at a baby breathing, you'll find that when they breathe in, they expand. When they breathe out. And then we learn how to breathe from our clavicles eventually later in life, okay? Which is not great, which is why we unlearn. We learn and unlearn, okay?
Okay, that's my first lesson.
Yes, breathing. Indeed, breathing. And you'll find that when you breathe in this way, even 10 breaths, you feel clearer in your mind. You're using more oxygen. You're expanding your lungs to full capacity. So you feel that massage in your belly. You breathe in this way and you'll never suffer from constipation. You breathe in this way and you'll find that your mind is clearer. Even when you have to relax, you know, in hotel you breathe and you're breathing shallowly. It's not working. Right? You're not relaxing. So when I tell you breathe, you make that a full breath. Okay? So you just try to remember that as we get into our mini session. Alright? I'm going to take you through a series of movements. A sample called a sun salutation. In Kemetic yoga, it's called the journey of Ra. So here I'd like you to not only imagine, but fully believe that you're the sun itself. And now, as the sun, we're going to travel. We're not going to travel, we're going to watch as the earth travels around us for a full day. Okay? And as we do this, we're going to be doing particular movements with our bodies. Okay. All right? And I'll make it a beginner one.
Okay.
Okay? So now, if we had mats, I'd tell you to move to the very top of your mat. So come here with me.
So this is the very top of our mat?
This is the very top of your mat. Mm-hmm. And then when you breathe in, I'm going to ask that you extend your arms. So you breathe in and send your arms up, above your head. Okay? And you bring your palms together. And then when you breathe out, I'd like for you to bring your palms just in front of your chest. And I'm going to ask that you engage your palms. You push your palms together so that you're also working your pectoral muscles, if you can feel that when you push them together. All right? So now when you breathe in, and I'd like for you to really inhale, okay? When you breathe in,
when I breathe in, I expand my stomach.
Yes, indeed. When you breathe in, you expand your body. So
that's a constant thing.
Yes. And believe me, it will come naturally to you eventually.
All right.
So now when you breathe in, I'd like for you to take your arm behind your ears, all right, and just bend your back. And in Kemetic yoga, we ask that you open up your hands into a bowl, and you imagine that you're collecting, say, wisdom from the cosmos. Okay?
Do I close my eyes?
If you'd like. And now, on your next inhale, breathe in. And I'm going to ask that you bring your body with your back very straight. Bring your body down to the mat, okay? Bring your fingers down to the mat and keep your hamstrings
straight.
Yeah, stretch. So your knees are being sent back, all right? And just reach wherever you can reach. You can bring your fingers to the mat, or you can just reach wherever you reach, okay? I'm going to ask that you just twist from side to side, twist from side to side, and breathe, constantly breathe, or else you'll find that you are fainting on that shot. Okay, now I'm going to ask that you identify your left foot, okay?
My left foot.
Identify it, all right? And now you're going to bend your knees, bring your palms besides your right foot, and take your left foot as far back as you possibly can, as far as your jeans will let you. And because this is a beginner class, I'm going to ask that you bring your knee to the mat, okay? And then I'm going to ask that you send your head right out and breathe, okay? Send your head right out and breathe. And then I'm just going to come here and tell you a little bit about your knee. When you're doing this movement, your knees shouldn't go over your toes. let your knee be in a 90-degree angle. Because when your knee goes over your toes, there you're going to damage it, you're going to hurt it. Okay?
All right.
So this is where we're at, and this is called the crescent moon. Okay?
The crescent moon.
Yes, this posture is called the crescent moon. So now you can breathe in, and you can open your heart. And if you can also lift your other knee, your back knee off the mat. Okay, and you can open your heart, send your chest proudly out, and breathe.
I feel like I'm watching Eat, Pray, Love.
You're a clown. And now I'm going to ask that you bring your palms down to the mat. And now you're going to identify your right foot. Remember your right foot. And you're going to take your right foot back to meet your left. Okay? So you're going to take your right foot back to meet your left. Okay? And I'm going to ask that you send your body right up. Send your body right up. Okay?
Still breathing.
You're still breathing. And I'm going to ask that you walk your legs, pop them. Just pop them to get you more into this posture, because eventually what you're trying to do with this posture is truly send your back in. So you're traveling through internal skies. This is why this is called Note the Sky in Kemetic Yoga. Okay, so you breathe, and then I'm going to ask that you bring your knees down to the mat. And now, I'm going to ask that you very gracefully move. Have you seen how a cobra moves? How gracefully it moves. I'm going to ask that you very gracefully bring your head through your arms, okay?
I hope if you're watching, you're doing this with me, eh? All right,
And then one way also to do it is to first bring your chest to the mat, bring your chin, and then roll out, okay? And then I'm going to ask that you ensure that your elbows are close to your body, and they are not fully stretched. So you're getting in a nice tricep workout. Okay?
Oh, yes.
And you're breathing.
Mabel, come. Okay.
Breathe. And I'm going to ask that you hover above the ground, okay? So you're resting, but you're hovering, all right? So your arms are above the ground, your legs are above the ground. And then now we're going to come up in a very victorious type of movement, in a very victorious plank. So I want you to imagine that when we're in the other movement, in the cobra movement, we're fighting against anxiety and doubt. Okay. And now that you've won, you come up very heroically into a plank. All right? Very heroically into a plank. You breathe.
And a reminder that the technique of breathing is that when you're breathing in, you expand your stomach, right?
Indeed. You're a very, very good student. You could be a teacher.
Thank you, man.
And I'm going to ask that we send our bodies back. Now you're going to send your body back, right, into this movement that's known as Note the Sky.
Note the Sky.
Note the Sky. So you're journeying through internal skies, okay?
Okay.
And you're breathing. And the next movement here would be to bring your right foot forward. But now, today what we're going to do is just walk our feet in. So I want you to move slowly, like an elephant, okay? Very slowly, like an elephant. Walk your feet forward.
This stuff requires that your feet, you have to keep the legs straight.
Which is why you move slowly. You allow your arms to come off the mat as they need to.
Right.
Okay? And now, you're going to rise again. And as you rise, you're going to keep your back as straight as possible. And this is midday, so this is half of the day, okay? You've done half of the day.
Wow.
All right? So now you're going to travel again. So you travel into the skies, you breathe, you bend your back. And then, once more you travel through the sky. And this time, we're going to be taking our right foot back because we took our left foot back the last time, okay? So you're going to breathe in, bend your knees, take your left foot, sorry.
Your right foot.
Take your right foot back this time, okay? As far back as possible, okay? And then you bring it to the mat.
90 degrees.
90 degrees. We don't hurt ourselves. You send your chest, your neck out and you breathe.
Nice. So this is something that you can even do in your office.
Indeed.
Do I need to, for example, dress like you to be able to do it?
You need to be comfortable, so you wear what you're comfortable wearing.
Okay.
I'm going to ask now that you expand your heart, and then you bring your knee off the mat. I would recommend this instead of a cup of coffee. It'll send your blood rushing for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask that now we take our left feet to meet our right, okay? So you breathe in and allow your foot to go back. And then...
Whoa. Oh, you're still there.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So you pop your knees. And then now, I'd like you to imagine that you are sending your head to the very middle of your body. So you're bending your back and you're breathing.
So you're not just doing yoga, because what I feel now, when I squeeze my tummy in, I'm also having an abdominal workout.
I mean, yoga works your body so intensely. So there is cardio in here, okay? There is strength training in here.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask that you bring your knees to the mat, and then you roll through
like
your arms.
a cobra.
Yeah? Like a cobra.
Is that it?
Yeah?
Right.
Okay. So you breathe in, send your head back. Make sure that your elbows are close to your
body. All right.
And that your pelvis is across the ground like you are breathing. And remember, your arms are not fully straight. Your arms are bent.
Yeah.
Just hold back. Because sometimes when you completely rest, will you just back up?
No.
Okay? Now I'm going to ask that you bring your hands to the mat and you rise heroically. Okay, so we rise.
Into the plank position.
Into the plank position. Okay? Which is also known as Peru rising. So you're rising victoriously.
Peru rising.
Yeah, you're rising victoriously.
All right. Yeah, there are students in the studio, so yeah. Oh, work those thighs. All right.
Alright, and then now you're going to rise, bring your arms to both sides. What you have to separate your legs. Send your chest right out, breathe. Send your face out and breathe. Because remember, you're going through a lot, your body has gone through a lot, so enjoying it. So expand your belly. And when you breathe out, so you breathe. And then now, you're going to bring your feet together. All right, and we're going to do a thing which is known as creating your throne. Okay? So now you're going to breathe in, and you're going to rise on your toes. You're going to send your arms out. You're going to get into a squat, okay? Right. And remember that you're on your toes. You're going to bring your hands to your thighs. You're going to send your back out, your spine straight. You're going to breathe because you created your throne. You're breathing. You remember how graceful and lovely you are. Okay. You internalize the fact that you can achieve. Okay. You're here in your throne. You've created it. You've created energy. And now I'm going to ask that you breathe in one last time, one very big breath from your belly. And now the last pose is where you send your body right back into the mat. You bring your palms, you make them face the sky, you make them face the ceiling, and you breathe. You thank your body for these movements. You close your eyes and you breathe. Wonderful. Okay.
And that's it.
Well, for this series of movements, yes. As you can see, I'm even sweating.
Yeah, you're sweating. When I looked at you, you were sweating, and I'm like, am I lazy? Am I not doing the right?
No, also, even when I think of sweating, I'll sweat. I'm just one of those. Of sweating, sweat.
Sweat.
Yeah.
Let's sweat it.
Let's sweat.
Does it have to have a particular duration?
Now, you can do as many of these as you can. So now, this took us about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right? So what you can do is you can flow through these movements in the morning, in the evening. If you haven't gotten a workout in, this can be your workout.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
So you can expand your yoga practice, but then this is a very good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way better than coffee, I'm telling you. For
'Cause you're
some
awake.
of us who are early risers, like at 4 a.m. you're already up, prepping for the show. You don't have time to work out.
Yeah.
This 10 minutes and you're
This
you're
does
done.
everything. It turns every part of your body.
Yeah.
It works every part of your body. You're breathing. Your hamstrings are working. Your arms,
Your triceps.
your pecs. Okay, everything is working.
All right.
And you're breathing, and then you're finding that even your mind is clearer. Okay, your body feels happier because it has moved, because the body loves to move. Okay.
All right, Mildred Apenyo. Let's give her a round of applause. I have my studio
you.
audience here. Yeah.
Our studio
Mabel, Patra. I don't know how you are doing that while balancing the sound, but yeah, that's Latigo.
She did a good job.
Where should people find you? I know well,
Okay.
your gym, Fitclique Africa.
Yes, Fitclique Africa is a women's gym, and we offer all kinds of services, from kickboxing to strength training to dance to African yoga to, even self-defense.
Right.
Okay, and so you can find us at Green Hills Hotel Bukoto. Okay, and on Facebook we're there as Fitclique 256. As on Instagram we're Fitclique Africa. On Twitter, we are Fitclique Africa. So you can find us on social media. You can connect with me on social media and with the rest of my team. And then also NTV should have yoga for its people.
Yeah,
Are you seeing how
we've done
excited
this.
you look?
I'm told the MD is watching, so she probably fit that in. Well,
Indeed.
Mildred, a pleasure. Pleasure.
A very big one.
Thank you so much for coming through. Mildred is not just right now a certified yoga trainer, she's also a journalist. So we'll call you back to engage on other things.
Okay.
Talking
I'll be looking
miniskirts
forward
and
to
more.
Well, I feel like that's a stale one. Let's not go back. Let's move forward.
Where should we go?
You know what? I'll get back to you.
All right. Mildred Apenyo, check her out on Twitter as
IZKYRTE. Go to Fitclique Africa on Twitter. That's
all right, and follow this and get more information. We'll take a short breather. When we come back, we'll be talking sport with Aisha, who definitely needs some yoga. Stay with us.